60 minutes, 60-minute interview, Kamala Harris. Let's roll.
Kamala Harris has been a candidate for president for just 2.5 months, and the post-convention honeymoon is over. With the election just 29 days away, Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, face unrelenting attacks from Donald Trump, and the race remains extremely close. We met the 59-year-old vice president this past week on the campaign trail and later at the vice president's residence in Washington, D.C. We spoke about the economy and immigration, Ukraine and China, but we began with the escalating war in the Middle East, 1 year after the Hamas terror attack on Israel.
The story will continue in a moment.
The events of the past few weeks have pushed us to the brink, if not into, an all-out regional war in the Middle East. What can the U.S. do at this point to stop this from spinning out of control?
Well, let's start with October 7. 1,200 people were massacred. 250 hostages were taken, including Americans. Women were brutally raped. And as I said then, I maintain Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. This war has to end.
We supply Israel with billions.
All right. So I really want, I don't want to have to stop it 100 times, but I got to say it, okay? We should not start it October 6th. First of all, that's not that's not what was asked. He said, what can we do to stop this thing? That was the question. And there's a very simple answer for that, guys. That's an answer that may make her lose an election, but it's an answer that a person with principles would say. And that would be, stop giving them money. There you go. You want somebody to stop fighting a war that they can't afford to fight without your money. If you stop giving them money, guess what happens? Skrrr! You stop putting gas in the car gonna run out of gas. Oh, God. It ran out of gas. You stop paying your mortgage, they're going to put you out. Because it runs on money. All she would have to do is say, we'll stop funding them. But she can't say that. So she's not a progressive because a progressive would have said that. I don't know what she is, but she's not that. And then to add insult to injury, she says October 6th, guys, the drama that's been going on in the Middle East exceeds way beyond October 6th. There were events that precipitated October 6th, which created October 6th. And there was events that precipitated those events, and so on and so on and so on, going back, 60, 70 years. So just this answer alone is a disqualifier for me, for my vote, for me personally. But then again, I'm a person with ethics. Okay? That's how I look at it. That's just me. I'm just one person, but that's how I feel. If you can't stop funding wars, I don't want you. Let's keep going.
Billions of dollars in military aid. And yet Prime Minister Netanyahu seems to be charting his own course. The Biden-Harris administration has pressed him to agree to a ceasefire. He's resisted. You urged him not to go into Lebanon. He went in anyway. Does the U.S. have no sway over Prime Minister Netanyahu?
The work that we do diplomatically with the leadership of Israel is an ongoing pursuit.
I'll answer for it because it's going to take 5 minutes. No. They have no control over Bibi. Bibi does what he wants to do. And the U.S. acts like they're puppets, but they're not puppets. They agree with what's been going on. They agree with it. You agree with it. You tacitly agree. If you're funding something that someone's doing, if they're running a criminal enterprise and you're providing them the means to do it, you're approving of it. You're co-signing it. That's it. That's all. And Bibi does whatever Bibi wants to do. And you know what, guys? I don't even want to make it seem like, oh my God, Israel's just so out of control. What could we do? Nah, man. Nah, that's not going to work. The Democratic The U.S. empire cannot act as if we're getting dragged around by our pigtails. We do the dragging, okay? We have 750 bases in 80 countries. Okay? That's more bases than all of the 10 next biggest countries with the biggest militaries combined. Okay? We spend more military than all of the 10 nearest competitors in the West combined. So we can't act as if, oh God, if we could just control Bibi. Yo, when are people going to get the fact that this is propaganda? We act like we didn't want that to happen, but we're cool with it. Or we do something about it. Yo, man. Come on now. America's a superpower. We got bombs. We have technology. All right, let's keep going. But I'm just saying, I can own a person. See, that's one of the things I prefer about Trump. He would say, oh, we want to take the oil. We want the oil. He'll say, it's horrible shit. But then we don't have to make up stupid stuff in your head, to deal with your cognitive bias. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to convince yourself you're still a good person. Now you can say, okay, that's what it is. We're scumbags. We're doing what we're doing. We're doing what we're doing because we choose to do it. Not because we got our arms wrapped behind our backs. They got a gun on us. They're making us do it. Come on, man. Let's grow up.
Around making clear our principles.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Do we have a real...
We also are not going to stop giving them the money so they can continue the war. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying if anybody's listening to this that's on the fence who don't understand it, this ain't about what you think about it. What I'm saying is, look, the government's going to do what the government's going to do, but we can't be fools. We can't be fools. We don't walk around like we don't understand what's happening. Nah, man. You buy somebody a gun, they go kill somebody. They tell you, I'm going to kill him if you give me a gun, and then you give them a gun and they go shoot. And you go, I didn't know. I didn't do it.
Close ally in Prime Minister Netanyahu?
I think, with all due respect, the better question is, do we have an important alliance between the American people and the Israeli people? And the answer to that question is yes. And
while the war in the Middle East has dominated recent headlines, it's the economy that most concerns American voters this election year, as always. There are lots of signs that the American economy is doing very well. Better than most countries, I think. But the American people don't seem to be feeling it. Groceries are 25% higher, and people are blaming you and Joe Biden for that. Are they wrong?
We now have historic low unemployment in America among all groups of people. We now have an economy that is thriving by all macroeconomic measures. And, to your point, prices are still too high. And I know that, and we need to deal with it, which is why part of my plan, you mentioned groceries. Part of my plan is what we must do to bring down the price of groceries.
Harris says she'll press Congress to pass a federal ban on price gouging for food and groceries, but details are yet to be defined. You want to expand...
America, we judge how well our economy is or how well we're doing. If you are in the 1%, you're part of a major corporation, or if you have a lot of stocks and bonds and other gratuities, then yeah, you might judge it based on Wall Street. All their indicators are Wall Street indicators, big corporate indicators. That has nothing to do with us. And since we're the voters, you would think it would matter. I don't even like the way you framed the question. You said, oh, the country's going great, except for those darn people. who can't afford food. Now, that would mean the country's not going great because a corporation is not a person, sir.
The child tax credit.
Yes, I do.
You want to give tax breaks to first-time home buyers.
Yes.
And people starting small businesses.
Correct.
But it is estimated by the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Federal Budget that your economic plan would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay, so the other economists that have reviewed my plan versus my opponent and determined that my economic plan would strengthen America's economy, his would weaken it.
But
My plan, Bill, if you don't mind, my plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes.
That would be your husband, Doug. Yo, fam. See, it's something that's said by a lot of us poors, us working class people. By the way, I consider myself a working class champ, okay? That's where I come from. That's what I'm about. We like to say, hey, you got money for war but can't feed the poor. But Kamala can't say that because she funds wars instead of the poors. That's what her and her boss, Joe Biden, have been doing for the last 4 years. So, yeah, that goes out the window with, because the famous comeback is, you don't ask us how we're going to fund a war, so don't ask me how I'm going to do this tax break for working families with their children. But you can't say that if you're giving trillions of dollars to bombing, billions of dollars for other countries, not even for us, for our military. We're giving billions of dollars to other militaries of other countries. So, make it make sense. But you got to explain. You got to explain to him why you want to give a earned income tax credit. How are we going to pay for that? He didn't say shit. He didn't bring up Israel's money. He just brought up our support of Israel. Let's see what he does with Ukraine. Fun times, baby, fun times.
It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations. And I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about. Their constituents are those firefighters and teachers and nurses. Their constituents are middle-class, hardworking folk.
And Congress has shown no inclination to move in your direction.
I disagree with you. There are plenty of leaders in Congress who understand and know that the Trump tax cuts blew up our federal deficit. None of us, and certainly I cannot afford to be myopic in terms of how I think about strengthening America's economy. Let me tell you something. I am a devout public servant, you know that. I am also a capitalist. And I know the limitations of government.
Kamala Harris is
full of it. She said a bunch of stuff that someone told her to say, and now she's grasping at straws, and you're bailing her out. Look, guys, it is what it is. Kamala doesn't know what she's talking about. She haven't really thought this out. They give her information at certain, in pieces. This is what you need to know to get through this interview. Problem is, she can't go any further than that. She's a mile wide and an inch deep on any topic. Any topic. I don't care what it is. Except maybe cooking collard greens in her tub. What is she going to do? It doesn't sound to me like she will be doing anything. It sounds to me that she's going to hire a bunch of people to do this. She could tell this guy to kick rocks, but she doesn't know how to. She should have told him to kick rocks. The helping people part. She won't even fight for helping people.
Been in government for decades. She was first elected San Francisco District Attorney in 2003, then California Attorney General. She went on to the U.S. Senate and now Vice President. A quarter of registered voters still say they don't know you. They don't know what makes you tick. And why do you think that is? What's the disconnect?
It's an election, Bill. And
this was my game plan, because the more they know about me, the less they're going to want to vote for me, because I don't know caca. So it was my whole plan all along not to be known. We're going to use that as our benefit. We'll get a bunch of black women that are going to vote for me anyway. You don't need to know what my family really is at Dawn Candace Owens. You don't need to know who I really am. You don't need to know what I really believe. And what I believed last week is not what I believe now. And that's a good thing, because I've been talking to people. See, this is a game that she plays, guys. That's what it is. I can't believe that there are people that are upset with their spouses, their family, their friends, their co-workers over this damn election. Kamala Harris, she wants you not to know. Most of the people that support her can't tell you why they support her, other than she a black woman. So she says. I don't think she's a black woman. But if that's what you believe, more power to you. But that is still not a reason to vote for anyone. And that's all she wants you to know. Surface level stuff. I saw this with Hillary Clinton. This is a recipe for destruction. The more people get to know Kamala, the less they're going to like her. And I'm not unless there are people only going on identity. Those people she's going to have them. She got them at the word go. But to all the other people who won't reflexively vote because she's got brownish skin and a uterus, to those people, the more they hear her talk, the less they're going to be interested. And that's why they don't know who she is. That's why a quarter, 25% of Americans like, who's this lady? That's why her approvals are higher, because people are not, they're giving her the benefit of the doubt. They're going, well, maybe she's good.
take it seriously that I have to earn everyone's vote. This is an election for President of the United States. No one should be able to take for granted that they can just declare themselves a candidate and automatically receive support. You have to earn it. And that's what I intend to do.
That's exactly what you did to get the primary. That's how you became the Democratic nominee, right? That's exactly what happened. That's how you became vice president. That's how you became the nominee for the Democratic, for the presidential election, for the Democratic Party. Some say that's how you got the job as the San Francisco District Attorney. Because of Willie Breyer. Cobb has been handed stuff time and time and time again. But she got to earn this one. She got to earn the W against the orange Hitler. That she's going to have to do. He's about to get her. Look at his face. He's about to ask her tough questions.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that—
Hold on, looser immigration policies. She was running around in 2017, 2018, 2019 going, there's no such thing as a person being illegal. Being undocumented or being illegally here or whatever is not a crime. That was her slogan. This guy. That's what she was building herself on. There's no such thing as an illegal person. It's not a crime to be undocumented. Down with ICE, down with ICE. That's what she was running around saying. And now she's like, we got to get that wall built. When for Trump, we do a better job of kicking these Mexico's back across that southern border. That's who she is. And you accuse me of not being loving black women because of her? I'm married to a black woman. So obviously I do know how. This is a travesty. This, regardless of who you're married to, this is a travesty. B1.
People don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground.
And I've changed every stance I stood on because it was politically expedient. Because I saw old Joe slip it, and he's been on knocking on the heaven's door since 2021. And I've been biding my time, putting up with his old ass. You know how many times he called me? What's his wife's name? Damn. You know how many times he called me Bo? He called me Bo so many times. I put up with that. So now I've changed my positions. Because I'm a scumbag politician. I stand for nothing. My back is made of rubber. That's the real answer, fam. That's the truth. That's it. Okay?
I believe in building consensus. We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our background.
Stump speech. Time for stump speech. Garbage time already? I just took out the garbage, Ma. Damn, we gotta take out trash again. What day is it? Because here she comes with the stump speech. I see she's got those earphones on.
And what the American people do want is that we have leaders who can build consensus, where we can figure out compromise and understand it's not a bad thing as long as you don't compromise your values.
Yeah, man. I mean, look. Once upon a time, I was like, look, like, you know, don't murder people in their sleep. But then, you know, you gotta compromise, man. Well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? I used to be like, don't torture. You know, I hated Dick Cheney then. Dick Cheney endorsed me, and it's like, hey, sometimes you gotta torture people. You know? I used to be like, look, don't shoot your friends in the face. Then I met Dick Cheney, and I realized, well, you know, sometimes you gotta shoot your friend in the face with buckshot. I'm just saying, this is what you gotta do sometimes. So it's not called being a sellout, man. It's called being a pragmatist.
To find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach.
But one issue that has proven impervious to
God, this is wrong. Oh, God, this is wrong. It's showing people coming through the border.
compromise is immigration. Over the past 4 years, the Biden-Harris approach has been inconsistent, and Republicans are convinced immigration is the vice president's Achilles heel. You recently visited the southern border and embraced President Biden's recent crackdown on asylum seekers. And that crackdown produced an almost immediate and dramatic decrease in the number of border crossings. If that's the right answer now, why didn't your administration take those steps in 2021?
The first bill we proposed to Congress was to fix our broken immigration system, knowing that if you want to actually fix it, we need Congress to act. It was not taken up. Fast forward to a moment when a bipartisan group of members of the United States...
No, y'all. No, you don't get to do that. Yo, without Congress right now, you have shut down the border. Folks, do you realize what happened? The border was like at its all-time low. There were executive orders, not through Congress, Trump used executive orders to clamp down on the border. Biden came in, him and Kamala. They undid all the executive orders, all of them. And then guess what happened? Record numbers of never seen before numbers of people ran across the border for 3 years, for 3 years. 3 years. And then 2024 came, and it was like, oh, guess what? I think we're going to lose. It's like, why? Because that damn border. Oh, we need to, Congress better do something. Hey, Jasmine Crockett, other sellout Congress people from the Democratic Party, go put together something real quick. They still didn't use executive order. Okay? And now that they're really in the thick of running, guess what they started? Guess what they did like 2 months ago? Use executive orders. The thing they could have did 3 years ago. The thing they could have left alone and left in place. So it was intentional. So when people are saying, folks, when people are saying that they feel that the immigrant situation at the border under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was intentional to replace Black Americans, it ain't crazy to think that. They intentionally opened the floodgates. Why did they open the floodgates intentionally? Go ahead, tell me why. If that's a kooky conspiracy theory that they'll be placing Black voters with Latino voters, maybe not today, maybe not in 2024, but they'll be ready by 2028. If that's not the reason, what was the reason? For record highs. Never before seen under any president ever. They did it in 4 years, not 8 years, 4 years. More people came in under them in 4 years than came in under Obama in 8 years. And they want people to believe it was an accident. And you want to act like that's normal. If you do anything if you do anything with that much disproportionality, there's a reason behind it. We don't believe in coincidence and we don't believe in accidents. Not in America, not with the world, not with a superpower that prints its own money. You can't tell me it's an accident, it's a mistake. We just weren't paying attention. For almost 4 years, you didn't pay attention? No, it was intentionally done. And there are people that suffered because of that. Not to mention the fentanyl and the drugs. Not just the jobs, the fentanyl and the drugs they smuggled in. All right.
Senate, including one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, got together, came up with a border security bill. Well, guess what happened? Donald Trump got word that this bill was afoot and could be passed, and he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. So he told his buddies in Congress, kill the bill, don't let it move forward.
But I've been covering the border for years. And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem. And solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay?
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the
under
numbers
your
today,
watch.
because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
But should you
we
have
have
done
cut
that?
the
Should you
flow
have
of
done that?
fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem.
You have accused Donald Trump of using racist tropes.
Oh, God. I mean, he held her feet to the fire. He decided to let it go. I think there was more to that conversation that did not make this interview. It looked like it's edited. Looks like it was a hard cut there. As an editor, I know there was a hard cut there. You intentionally left that border open, quadrupling the numbers that normally would be present. In case you don't know, quadruple means times 4. Yeah, 4 times the normal amount. And we're supposed to think that's a mistake, an accident. And now she won't even say, hey, yeah, Biden was tripping. He thought he signed an order. He forgot. We love Joe, and Joe made a mistake. He made a mistake. I love Joe, but he was wrong on that one. But, and we live and we learn. But now it's like, we did the right thing, and we are here right here. Let's focus on what we're doing now, baby. That's why you got to live in the past, baby. Let a player play.
When it comes to Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, when it comes to birtherism, when it comes to Charlottesville. In fact, you have called him a racist and divisive. Yet Donald Trump has the support of millions and millions of Americans. How do you explain that?
I'm glad you are pointing these comments out that he has made that have resulted in a response by most reasonable people to say it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
With so many people supporting Donald Trump,
it's just wrong. It's wrong to talk that way. You know what's also wrong? It's wrong to be the author of the 94 crime bill. It's wrong to keep firemen in jail. Well, inmates in jail to fight fires for free. It's wrong to have to be sued because you won't let prisoners leave who should have already left, and some of them are dying in your prison as Attorney General. And they had to sue you to make you, the Supreme Court had to sue you for you to let some people go. I see a 30% increase of incarceration rates under Kamala Harris, and she ran on doing that. She ran. It's a top cop, going to be tough on crime, and she was tough as hell, even for people with minor offenses, nonviolent offenses. That's what she did. That's the record. So, but Trump said mean things, and he put an ad in at Central Park 5 that he shouldn't have done, but he put an ad that time. There's no talk about what you actually did as a politician. Who cares about words? We're not talking about words, we're talking about actions. I hope he gets on actions. Trump said things that were mean, and Biden has his fingers on every piece of hardcore mass incarceration legislation since 1986. And you are a sick freaking vice president. So where's the love, folks? Where's the love? Somebody here is stuck on stupid.
You've called a racist. How do you bridge that seemingly unbridgeable gap?
I believe that the people of America want a leader who's not trying to divide us.
Money! We're going to back up a Brinks truck and give money to all the blacks. We're going to make sure we're going to end homelessness and poverty in America. She ain't going to say no shit like that. She going to say, I'm going to make everyone feel better because I'm going to sing a song at every press conference. And I'm going to cook collard greens because I'm good at it. And everyone's going to be happy. And you're going to feel joy. And that's what it is, because that's really what joy is.
And demean. I believe that the American people recognize that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it's based on who you lift up.
More stump speech, running out of stuff to say, because she has no plan. She can't say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. No, she has to say, ooh, abstract feelings. You're going to make you feel good, baby. There you go. What? You got evicted? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But guess what? Turn that frown upside down. Gee willikers. Someone's got a case of the Tuesdays. You're still alive, baby. There's possibilities. Ha ha! The qualm. Everything's great. It's coming up roses, baby. It's all about how you look at it. You got the gout? Got the beaties? You got the sugar? It's okay. You're here now. And you get to vote for me. Aren't you lucky? You get to vote for joy. And together, we can enjoy me living my dreams while you live your hell. Yeah. Oh, go listen to some D.L. Hughley. He'll explain it all to you.
The Harris campaign has been hopscotching the country, and with less than a month to go, the pace is picking up. The vice president told us she has lost track of how many states she's visited.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You well?
We joined her on the trail late last week in the crucial swing state of Wisconsin, in the town of Ripon, the birthplace in 1854 of the Republican Party. And at a rally plastered with country over party banners, Harris appeared with staunch conservative Liz Cheney. As vice chair of the House January 6 committee, Cheney became one of Donald Trump's fiercest critics.
I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
That proclamation spurred a chant of approval from the crowd.
4 years ago, if someone had told you that you would be campaigning with Liz Cheney, what would you have said to them?
I'll do anything to win. I have no morals.
That'd be great. That's really diplomatic.
Would you ever have thought that you'd be campaigning with Kamala Harris?
I hope that if you had said to me 4 years ago, our Constitution is going to be under threat and it's going to be crucial for the parties to come together.
And I burnt all my bridges with Republicans, and now I got to lean on the Democratic Party in order to save myself, or I have to go get a regular job like a working stiff. Ha ha! Forget that. Isn't that sort of the way it goes there, Liz? You burnt your boats. You underestimated how powerful Trump was, his stronghold on the Republican Party. And you, like many others, found yourself on the outside looking in, and there was only one play ready, really. That is either write more books, complaining, you already did that, or go be a rhino. Well, it's really one party, man, so it really don't matter what you do. Because Democrats, Republican, potato, tomato, Republican to Democrat, potato, who really knows? Doesn't really work with the potato. Nobody say potato. If they do, punch them in the face. That sounds messed up. But yeah, for some people, you would think just getting endorsed by Liz Cheney would be a deal breaker. Like the fact you would vote for somebody who's proud of an endorsement of a Cheney. But I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy.
And to support Vice President Harris because she'll defend the rule of law, I know I would have said that's exactly what I'll do.
I thank you all.
Whoever wins the presidency will take on a host of daunting challenges, especially beyond our borders. Back in Washington, Vice President Harris told us she's determined the U.S. must win the economic competition with China for the 21st century. And as for the war between Russia and Ukraine, what does success look like in ending the war in Ukraine?
Giving them all our money until all our homeless just stack up and the bodies are everywhere. And we just step over them and we just go get on the metro, and then we go out for a night on the party and get some Zinfandel. Drinks on me. Oh, you're filming this. I forgot. I forgot you're filming. Yeah, she's going to say something to the effect of give them all the money that they need to keep on perishing at the high rate of speed that they are perishing.
There will be no success in ending that war without Ukraine and the UN Charter participating in what that success looks like.
Would you meet with President Vladimir Putin to negotiate a solution to the war in Ukraine?
Not bilaterally without Ukraine, no. Ukraine must have a...
She is a puppet. Man, if you ever thought there was a puppet, it would be her. It would be her. Do you really think she knows anything about Ukraine? Really? You think she does? You do? Oh. You think she knows something about Ukraine? Oh, ain't you cute? All that faith you got. Look at you. Just as green and stupid. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, you just have misguided trust in scoundrels. Probably believe in the tooth fairy too, huh?
Say in the future of Ukraine.
As president, would you support the effort to expand NATO to include Ukraine?
Those are all issues that we will deal with if and when it arrives at that point. Right now, we are supporting Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russia's unprovoked aggression.
That don't sound familiar. How we keep having the same story sound? The same sounding stories. Just another war we're funding, baby. More money for war, but can't feed the poor.
Donald Trump, if he were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. He talks about
Who gave you that line? It's not a good line. That's not a good line. Like, what corny staff person wrote that horse shit? Who wrote that? Some Gen Z jackass with pimples from Maine or something. Some white guy from Maine.
oh, he can end it on day one. You know what that is? It's about surrender.
A hard left turn here, but
It's about saving lives, you barbarian, you bloodthirsty. Be nice, Tim, be nice.
you recently surprised people when you said that you are a gun owner. And then if someone came into your
That was
house,
not the first time I've
They would get
talked about
shot.
it. That's not the first time I've talked about it.
so what kind of gun do you own and when and why did you get it?
I have a Glock.
Did she say Glock? Okay. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there for a minute. Hey guys, she's a cop. What do you expect? All that stuff about people should be guns and all this, that's about your guns, not hers. Plus, she's got security. Vice presidents have security. So she's got a security detail and she's got a gun. But you single moms living in the inner city taking a metro home at night, we don't want you to have a gun because, school shooters.
And I've had it for quite some time. And I mean, look, Bill, my background is in law enforcement. And
Locking black people up, throwing away the key. Just want to help you out there.
so there you go.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. Of course I have. At a shooting range. Yes, of course I have.
You are sitting here with us. The Trump campaign canceled an interview that they had agreed to participate in this broadcast. What do you make of that?
If he is not going to give your viewers the ability to have a meaningful, thoughtful conversation, question and answer with you, then watch his rallies. You're going to hear conversations that are about himself and all of his personal grievances. And what you will not hear is anything about you, the listener. You will not hear.
Yeah, this is my canned speech. I say it everywhere I go. I've been saying it all week. So let Tim Black answer you with a substantive answer. Oh, I can answer that, my friend. He don't need you. Yeah, he doesn't need the bump in the ratings to go on your show because he's been going on a lot of shows, unlike Kamala Harris. That's the answer that she cannot give you because it's actually a true answer. Yeah, when you've been hiding in the basement at the bottom of the ninth, you might want to come out and do a few interviews. But if you've been growing around interviewing with everybody and their mama since, I don't know, 2015, 2016. I guess you don't really got to do that, right? So that's probably what it is. This is like her third interview. He's done like 30. So maybe that'd be part of it. I don't know.
About how he's going to try to bring the country together, find common ground. And Bill, that is why I believe in my soul and heart.
Do you feel that when she says that? I believe in my soul and heart. Did that feel like a person that believes in their soul and heart, anything they're about to say? Was there any authenticity felt through that expression? I feel it in my soul and my heart, man. You know? Or was she just, I feel it in my soul and my heart. There's nothing there, man. There is no there.
The American people are ready to turn the page.
After listening to 2 interviews of Kamala Harris, I gotta say, I can't imagine why anybody would want to support her. I just can't get it. Pulling teeth to get her to say anything policy related. Pulling teeth to get her to elaborate on the policies that she brings up. Great idea. Helping aging parents for at-home care. Tell us more about that. That's frustrating. Kamala Harris is a horrible candidate. She just is. She's a horrible candidate. She gives a crappy interview. The interviews suck. There's nothing interesting in them. They're not funny. It's a bunch of waffling and word salad and gobbledygook. Who wants that? And I guess for some people, it's considered good because she is light brown skin. And I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. She didn't say anything of substance. If you're a Black American, how does it feel to have your first Black woman president potentially be and can't even say the word Black? How she say we sit through 2 interviews and we don't even come up? So if somebody from the Kamala Harris team gets one of this video in any way, do me a favor. Call off the hounds. Yeah, get your pit bulls out of the Black community. Call off your pit bulls on every social media platform that you are paying to go after us because we don't want to support you. Yeah, call them off. Do us the favor. Because you don't go after white people or Latinos or Asians. For some reason, your pit bulls only attack Black people who are that feeling you. Last time I checked, Trump had made moves and made inroads with Latinos, Asians, and white men. And young people. Not just the Blacks. But your hounds that you've released on us have only been after Black people for some reason. Call them off. Folks, I see nothing of redeeming value to this one. I mean, I can't wait till it's over. This was hard to get through. It really was. But we got through it, and I want to thank anybody that stuck it out. Guys, as we get to 200,000 subscribers, know this, we're going to have a big party. I'm going to give away like 10 mugs. In fact, Buck had a good idea. We're going to start giving away at least 1 mug a month. So we have a mug club where people are going to get a TBTV or Tim Black show mug or something. Because I appreciate you putting up with this. Because this was tough. I mean, you are bad. You all right. You sat through this with me, you all right. Remember, guys, please hit the like button. Let the algorithm know you don't like Kamala, but you like me. So let them know that I did a pretty good job of analyzing this nonsense. Hit the like button. Let people know that you watched the show. I appreciate you coming through for the Tim Black Show and going through this torture chamber. Wow. Anything else, Buck? Y'all be easy. Look. That's it. I'm done. Remember, we will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Tim Black Show. And look, don't let nobody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. Don't you give your cornbread to Kamala Harris. Don't you give it to Navarro either. Or Whoopi or Sonny or the other two ladies. They don't deserve your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. Bastards. All right, I'm out. Thank you, Buck Bewley, for the moderating of the chat. Thank you for 10 Black Wolfpack supporters. Remember, become a member of the team. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Don't forget to get your free ebook at presidentialimpact.com. Presidentialimpact.com. That's it. Nothing but love for you.